Hello everyone, Mitch back here, and welcome back to the second video in this Navigraph charts tutorial series here on the Aviator channel. In this video, we're going to be covering the flight planning stage and the importing of the flight plan into your Navigraph charts. As we go over the next few steps here, this once again is not going to be covering specifics regarding flight planning itself, but just how to import certain flight planning tools into Navigraph charts. So what you're seeing on screen now is Simbrief. This is one of the more popular flight planning softwares that are out there. It's actually web-based. There's another one called PFPX, which a lot of users also use, but Simbrief being one of the more popular ones, that's the one I'm going to cover today. So here I've gone ahead and just filled out some information for a flight that we're going to do from Toronto to Montreal with an alternate of Ottawa today. And I'm just going to go ahead and generate an OFP. It's just going to take a few seconds to go through this and generate the OFP. And then it's going to just spit out a flight plan to us here, as we can see. So our OFP summary and everything outlined as per what I requested it. Now, this is as far as we need to go with the flight planning side of things. Once again, this isn't to cover Simbrief, but to cover the Navigraph chart side. So if you want more on Simbrief, I'll link in the description down below to a tutorial series that will most likely come out about the same time as this, about how to use Simbrief and utilize Simbrief and the understanding of OFPs on Simbrief as well. So here we are over in Navigraph charts, and you can see the previous flight plan that I had up and was utilizing prior to wanting to import this new flight. So let's say I want to start a new flight, bring in that new flight that I just generated over on Simbrief there. So I'm going to go up to flights. I'm going to go new flight and request from Simbrief. And as you can see, use Toronto to Montreal. And that's going to bring that directly into the charts, Navigraph charts right here, right in front of us. If you have a problem where it's not showing that, go to your settings and make sure your Simbrief username is directly imported into your settings. As you can see, mine's blurred out because I don't want you guys using my username, but make sure you put your Simbrief username in there and you'll be able to download that directly from the Simbrief website using your username. So here's our flight plan, Toronto to Montreal. And if we click on our alternate airports, Ottawa, which we covered over in the previous video, that the alternate airports will show up under the alternate airports tab. Now, here's our flight plan. Toronto off runway 24 right on the Bommet 7 Miglo Habs 5 into the Montreal airport. Now, I purposely planned this wrong in this case, so you can see that the edits can be made directly in Navigraph charts. So Bommet 7, if we click on it, and I want to show the chart in a windowed mode, you'll notice if we come here, it will say on the actual plate itself that this is for non-jet aircraft only. So we just got to zoom in here and I'll highlight it for you. Non-jet aircraft only. So I planned this flight under an A319, so an A319. So I got to sit there and figure out, okay, now what departure would I use in place of the Bommet 7 departure? Now, from experience, as somebody who flies out of Toronto quite frequently, I know it's going to be the dead key 4 departure. But if you're someone that doesn't know that, once again, we can highlight this right up here, 24 right to Miglo. It's going to give us the Bommet 7 or the dead key 4 because only 2 of them are going to go to Miglo. So if we click the dead key 4 in this case, you're going to go, oh, it automatically now has changed to the dead key 4 for me. So if we click dead key 4, go to windowed mode now, you'll see if we zoom into the same spot that we were on the previous one, this one says jet aircraft only. So this is the SID that we need for our departure out of Toronto today, and it complies with everything that we need for the flight that we're going to conduct here. So now we've gone ahead and done that. You've seen that we've made a change in Navigraph charts, and we are just getting started. We're just cutting the surface on what this piece of software can do and utilize for your simming experience. So we've gone ahead and edited a SID. We're not going to need to edit our star today, I can tell you that, because the Habs 5 is the standard star, and both jet and prop aircraft into Montreal can utilize the Habs 5. But let's say, okay, I want to plan my flight in this case from point A to point B and have a clip of all my charts that I'm going to need for the flight. So I'll show you what I use personally, and this is going to vary from user to user. But once again, what I'm going to utilize in this software is what I'm going to benefit from most in the flight itself. There's some information that I will need. There's some information I won't need. So moving ahead, I'm going to go with the information that I do need. So let's start with Toronto. So I'm going to click on Toronto. I'm going to hit Open Chart List. It's going to outline the chart list on the left side and start here, starting in the Taxi tab. Now, the important stuff I'm going to need here is I usually like to go with aprons and gates. So where I'm going to be parked. So I'll go ahead and pin that And then coming down, I'm going to look for airport diagram. So something of that sort, airport information, and de-ice, which will give us an overview of the airport and also give us the ability to enable our moving map on it. So I'm going to pin that too. And then if anything related to de-icing or engine shedding procedures, any of that stuff, if you want to really add to that level of realism, then this is where you'd click it and find it there once again, hitting the pin. But next, I'm going to bring into my clip my SID, my standard instrument departure, which today is once again is the dead key 4, which we just changed to. So we're going to search on the list here for the dead key 4. And you can also, if we couldn't find it in this big mess, I can type in dead key 4. Let's just type dead key. There we go. I would need to include the space if I wanted it there. Dead key for departure. And we know we were going off 24 right. So it's going to be this plate. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that plate. And then going into Montreal, we're just going to back out of this. Click over to Montreal. We're going to need the HABS 5 arrival. As you can see, it takes us right to the star page, the page that we're going to need to utilize the most right off the bat going into Montreal. The HABS 5 arrival, and then we're going to need to do an approach. Well, right now we're planning for ILS 6 left. So what I do is I'll plan, or plan for an approach on the 6 left, I should say. I'm going to plan an ILS approach, and I'm also going to back it up with the other runway in this case, which is the ILS 6 right. So now I have the ability to have both my plates right next to each other, front and back, just like so, just in case if there's a switch the runways on me coming in. And then on the way in, I'm going to select my airport diagram and once again, my apron control map so I can see where I'm going to be parking, which parking spots in chords as well, which is that one right there. Now this one, you'll notice for the apron map, it's sideways. Like, oh, I can't read this. Well, how do I switch it around? You just click the rotate button a couple times here, 90 degrees to the left in this case, until you get it oriented the way you want. And then if you were to go to any other plate where it's not oriented the way you want, it will automatically, once you switch back to it, be in the orientation you left it. So your flow from left to right from which plate you're going to use is going to be in the flow that you want it to be in, as you can see here. So HABS 5, 6 left if they switch us to 6 right, airport diagram, and then our parking spots going into Montreal in this case. So there you go. We have flight planned on Simbrief, imported it directly, and now set up all our plates for what we need for the flight. This is what I feel is the bare minimum of what you need to conduct a flight, from being onto the gate until getting to the gate at your destination. This is the most important steps to get to where you're going. Like I said, from point A to point B, bare minimum. ATC on VATSIM or IVAO, whatever network that you might use, this is going to help them out a lot more knowing that you have the current plates and have these plates in front of you like so. And being able to navigate where they can sit there and tell you, okay, I need you to go from here, I need you to go from here, and you can sit there and reference the plate and know that it's in front of you, and you have all the relevant information right there in front of you. So that's going to cover the flight planning portion of Navigraph charts. In the next video, we'll be covering a little bit more, going a little bit more in depth on SIDS and stars and understanding the information that is presented on front of you or in front of you on these plates. Because as much as I can sit here and outline them for you like they are, you're probably sitting there looking at these going, what is this information telling me? And we're going to dissect that. So we're getting into the real detailed information in the next video. So once again, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial video, make sure you click the like button below and that subscribe button too. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see more tutorial videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.